Hello, I'm Joseph Quijano, certified financial planner with Become the Banker.
And I'm Jordan Quijano. We are coming with you today with a wonderful video on what we call the economic facts of life. I mean, this is truly a life lesson of really what the average person or average individual or family goes through when it comes to their finances. And you might be asking yourself, I mean, maybe that person down the street's making more money than me, or the other person over there has more vehicles and more stuff, but why am I not getting ahead financially? What is holding me back? This is what's going to blow your mind today. This is going to open your eyes to really where your money's going and why none of us are really any different than the next person. It's just a matter of what you do with your money.
Those of you at home, please follow along. Take out a sheet of paper and a pen and just follow along with that.
Now, if you look at this Lifeline, it goes from age 0, and we have a pretty good chance of going to age 100 nowadays. I mean, get that, with modern medicine and science, we're getting to age 100 a lot more often than not. Well, pick on this line that there's 3 areas, 3 sections that you break it up. We've got 0 to typically 18, which is what we call the learning years. These are the years that you're learning not only to tie your shoes, but you're going and getting your studies done. You're not really making a lot of money, maybe some odd jobs here and there, but these are really the years you're learning. And then you have 18, typically all the way up to 65, which would be considered your earning years. The earning years where you're gonna be making as much money as you want to. You're trying to get the max potential of building enough money for retirement, because once you get to that 65 or even 70 in today's world, after that, from 70, 65 to 100, these unfortunately is called the yearning years, meaning that people wish they had more. They didn't put enough money aside. They really wish they had more memories, more family experiences, but more money.
That is right, and so let's assume that you're 40 years old. This is where you would be in the Lifeline, right there, at age 40. And let's assume that you started working full-time. I'm talking about working full-time. Think about it. When was that day that you started working full-time? How many years ago has that been? So let's assume again that it has been 20 years, that you started when you were actually 20 years old. 20 years old working full-time, all right? And then I want you to take your average annual income that you have made from age 20 to age 40 each and every year.
Now, we know there's been years you got raises, you're making more money now than you were before. But again, just take that average. So let's just make an easy number. Let's say $50,000 a year. Maybe you're making 80 now and you're making 30 back then. So just kind of meet it in the middle. Let's say 50,000 is the average. What you're gonna do now is you're gonna take that average income, 50,000, and multiply it by how many years you've worked full time. That's 20 times 50,000, giving you $1 million.
$1 million.
Now, the question that we ask everybody, and we're going to ask you, is are you happy with how much of that money, or the number that's on your piece of paper, are you happy with how much you've kept out of that? How much of that do you still have left in your bank? That's the question. This is $1 million has gone right through this example's hands. And this is time and time again, we see this, where most people can say, I'm not happy with how much I have.
That's right.
If anything, I probably have none. Maybe a house.
Yeah, no, you're right. And the majority of people, like Jordan says, are not happy. Okay, let's take a look at your Lifeline, okay, again. And let's assume at age 20, this is your income right here. You begin making a little bit of income, but it's your goal to every year make more and more and more with raises, promotions, and things like that. So what happens is this: we have good intentions. We actually have very good intentions. Where the income grows, our savings will grow as well. You start to put some money in the bank. Our parents have told us, put some money away, put some money away, put some money away. So we start a bank account. We start saving money. But then all of a sudden, what do? We buy a car. Hey, what happens to that savings? It goes down. Yeah. Then we begin saving again. Then you meet the girl or the boy of your dreams. The engagement, the honeymoon, the wedding,
College,
okay?
all that.
The savings will go up and down again. Now, later on in life, as a couple, you begin working with dual incomes now. But then what happens? You begin saving again as a family.
And a baby comes in another house. And there's just a million examples where your money's never consistently going up. It's doing this up and down roller coaster effect.
Yeah.
And this is what our economy runs off of. This is called the Great American Roller Coaster. Your account's never going up. It's doing this up and down motion because our economy runs off of spending money. And let's just say our marketing of our economy does a great job of getting us to spend that money.
So basically, if you follow this pattern on this roller coaster right here, you know, right here, there's a roller coaster, you know, you're going to be right here at age 65 and you're going to be actually dead or dead broke. And that's the sad part, because then you're going to go for the next 35 years of your life yearning, wishing, and you'd be surprised how many clients come to me and they said, God, I wish I would have done something differently when I was young.
Right.
So you don't want to be there. So I'm going to show you some statistics, and I want you to please write them down. Everybody that was born the same year that you were born, Social Security claims that only 1% of you will be totally wealthy. And I'm talking about, I mean, mega wealth, okay? I'm talking like the Bill Gates of the world, okay? Mega wealth. Okay, 1%. They say that 4% will be financially independent. Okay, that means that at age 65, that 4% of you will have enough income sources to retire beautifully.
Yep.
However, though, 16% will have to continue to work.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what? If you don't believe it, look at Walmart.
Who do you see greeting you at the doors?
Yeah, the greeters.
A lot of times it's not because they want to, but they have to.
They have to.
And there's nothing wrong with working, but it's just a matter of your choice that you want to do at that time. I'm sure most of us would rather retire and decide if we want to work, we can work, than being forced into having to work because we didn't have any money set aside or enough to carry us through that. So this is pretty true statistic here.
Well, it is like 1% is wealthy, 4% financially independent, 16 must continue to work. This is what amazes me. 37% will either be dead or needing long-term care or disabled. Yeah. So dead, disabled, or needing long-term care.
37%.
37%. And the remaining 42% will have to rely on the government or friends or family for their support. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what they're saying here, only 5% of all the people that were born the same year that you were born will make it financially by age 65. The other 95%, ladies and gentlemen, fail financially. Do you think these people plan to fail? No, you know what? They only fail to plan. And that's the problem. People fail to plan. So we're going to show you now how we can actually help you plan so this doesn't happen to you and you can be in the top 5%.
Absolutely. So go back to your Lifeline here. We can't do anything about the past. I mean, we know how much money went through our hands, especially in this example. $1 million went right through our hands, and as most people would say, not enough of it was kept. So the question is, what are we going to do going forward? What are we going to do different now that you know the numbers, the statistics on what's going on with everybody else that's in the same year as you? How are you going to become part of this 5%? That's the question. Well, if you're age 40 in this example, and again, if we're going to take 65 as their retirement year, go ahead and draw on board if you don't mind. That means there's 25 more years of you working before you hit that magical year of retirement. 25 more years. More than likely, we know that you're going to have pay increases. You're going to do better than just the 50,000 that we were talking about. So let's just say that you're making 75,000. What you want to do is take the number that you're making today. If you're making not the 50 that we were using before because that was the average, but let's say you're making 75 or 80 or whatever the number is, use that number. We'll be pretty much conservative on this. Now let's say you're gonna take 25 more years at $75,000 a year. That's gonna give you a total of $1.875 million. It's almost $2 million, 1.875. You are destined to make almost another $2 million if you don't do anything different than right now. But if you do make a pay increase, you do get this, you'll be making more. So you're not happy with the other million that we lost. What are we gonna do different about this other 1.8 million going forward? That is where we want you to start putting money aside. Take time, take the notes, and start building your financial pyramid. You need to build wealth, but not only build wealth, put it in areas that the money's gonna work for you, guaranteed, it's gonna stay tax-free, and that you have access to it for anything that may come up on this roller coaster of life that we're all riding right now.
You know, we wanna show you how the wealthy have really become wealthy. And that's one of the rules that they did, is pay themselves first. That was the first rule of becoming wealthy. So if we could show you how we can help you become the top 5%, how much could you set aside without hurting your budget? I'm Joseph Quijano, Certified Financial Planner.
And I'm Jordan Quijano. Thank you again for watching our video. Please like, subscribe, and leave us a comment, and we'll see you on the next one.